for me, Dr. Abernathy is a character who is a leader in the civil rights who often falls in the shadows of Dr. King. And so we don't know much about his leadership.
We hold the moral high ground.
Ain't you supposed to be nonviolent now?
I'm having a real big problem with that right now.
This movie is just fantastic. I'm going to be honest with you all. I had never heard the story of Bob Zellner. So that's why I think it's important that this movie is out, because now I want to read the book and I want to learn more about him. So Barry, I'll start with you. I understand that you've been wanting to do this for quite some time, and you actually met with Bob and discussed doing a film.
Well, I met Bob in the early 80s. And those days, just as friends, he would tell me stories. And it was one story after the other, dozens and dozens and dozens. And it was like if I could do a TV series that could kind of incorporate a tenth of the stories. So to do a feature, it took me a long time to figure out how to figure out some part of his life to tell in a 2-hour window. It took a long time to do.
Incredible. Cedric, what does this movie mean to you personally? I mean, again, I'm now going down the rabbit hole and learning about Bob and how incredible he is. What a wonderful person he is. I want to learn more, but for you to be a part of this film, and your character is real as well, Ralph Abernathy, how special is it for you to be a part of this?
I mean, I think that's one of the things. One thing when you do a movie that has historical significance, so it's telling the story of real people in a time, you want to honor that. And for me, Dr. Abernathy is a character who is a leader in the civil rights who often falls in the shadows of Dr. King, and so we don't know much about his leadership. And so that's where I wanted to honor there. And I think that was an important part of the story, an important part of even seeing someone like Bob, and even how it parallels to the times that are of today. The fights that we're having of still social and racial injustices shows that young people from all walks of life were serious about needing change and wanting old bigoted ways to go away. And so that's the one thing that I think that people can see from this movie and know that if you're out here today fighting for civil rights, you're not alone, because there's been generations of them same young people with that same zest and that same zeal, sacrificing a lot of stuff to even get to where we are right now.
Barry, you filmed in Alabama, and I was told by some of the cast that it was actually around where some of these things occurred. Did that add to the specialness of doing this film there?
Absolutely. And it wasn't around, it was in the places. We shot in Ralph Abernathy's church. Reverend Ralph Abernathy's church is where we shot. The First Baptist Church, the Brick of Day Church. We shot in front of the bus depot where they beat up the Freedom Riders. The office building across the street, the Moore building, is where Clifford Durr's office was. So when we looked down on the riot from Clifford Durr's office, that was Clifford Durr's office. And so, we were able to really shoot, on the streets and in the places where this story really took place.